We'll try this again, shall we? Let's do a second take because the camera is doing the thing again. Welcome back to Day of the Day. It's another episode of Day of the Day. I'm doing it sat down because I can't be arsed. No, really any other reason, I just can't be arsed standing up. So, we have a amount of days that I could have counted at some point in the interim, but I still didn't, so we have some amount of days today, and we shall start those. Now-ish. Starting with National Simplicity Day. A very good cargo to the fact that we need to stop over, that we should probably, take things back and stop overthinking things and such. I have mentioned before, I think, one of the aspects of the Embrace Chaos thing that I end every video with, or have been ending most videos with for the past few months, is that sort of going with the flow, stopping overthinking things, just, working on impulse a bit more. Something I need to take heed of as well, because I'm part of the reason why I'm having some of the problems I'm having at the moment, as I mentioned, is because of a lack of interaction with people, because I've been, cooped up, and I have this problem of I feel awkward messaging first. Like, I overthink it, I get in my own head about it, and then I end up just not sending anything, because I end up just defaulting of, it's easier if I just don't than if I try and fuck up. It's the same, it's sort of along the same mentality of, I want to talk to you, but I don't want to bother you. Like, that was I think a meme image I saw a while ago, and that it encapsulates me perfectly, because that's exactly how I am at pretty much all times when it comes to talking to people. Like, and people, that's people I'm actually really close with as well. Like, the people that I call some of my best friends, I have such difficulty messaging like that. I have such a relief when people message me first, just because it means that they are opening the conversation. I don't have to worry about it. Like, that is a problem I suffer with constantly. So I probably should take my own advice and try and just stop overthinking things and go with the flow and embrace the chaos. Next up, Eat Your Jello Day. Now, I have a thing with this, because I was under the impression that Jello was a brand, and you know how I feel about branded days, but it also occurs to me, and I did open it to have a look, that maybe it's not. Maybe it's just the Americanism for jelly. Like, they call jam jelly, so the word jelly, if they didn't want to use it twice, so they instead called jelly Jello, just to confuse everyone. Like how they call crisps chips and chips fries, for whatever reason. I don't know. But either way, and in both of its forms, jelly is very nice. It's very nice. It's not got a lot to it. Like, it's mostly water and sugar and some semblance of fruit flavoring. And then in the case of the set jelly, what's in gelatin again? It's like boiled down and rendered fat of some sort. It's horrible if you think about it. It's one of those things, but yeah, I don't like jelly. I've got jelly in the fridge. Might get some jelly after this. I don't know. Our next day, National Different Coloured Eyes Day, brings the question of, why do we not just call it Heterochromia Day? Is it because you don't think people know it's called heterochromia? Because surely if that's the case, then this is where you want to be calling it National Heterochromia Day, so, people know it's called heterochromia. I fucking love heterochromia. I think it looks so fucking cool. It's like, I love the fact that we can have individuality. We can look however we are. Like, we are individual people. It has the problem of people discriminating, and those people, as I've mentioned, are assholes and can get off of my planet. But it is indeed a thing that exists. And it's generally a good thing. Like, yes, you could say that freedom of speech means you have the right to be that asshole, but that doesn't make you not an asshole for doing it. Freedom of speech does not mean freedom of consequences, after all. But yeah, heterochromia is great. It looks really cool. Obviously, again, but we have, like, this perpetual need to, or a lot of people have the perpetual need to judge people based on appearances, which sucks. I mean, especially for someone like me. I'm naturally quite, bulky as a person, which is generally seen to be a bad thing. Which immediately puts me in a negative in most situations. And, you know, glasses. I have a whole nerd aesthetic, and as much as I am indeed a nerd, I also have like half a dozen other aspects to my personality. Like, I don't. You can take me at face value so far, but there's also other things to me. Come on, like judging books by covers. You. Yeah. Next up, National Pecan Pie Day. I don't know if I've had pecan pie, and I say I don't know because I might. It's another one of those things that I might have interacted with when I was in America, but do not recall whether or not I have or not. The concept seems like it would be good. It's mostly just pecans, butter, and sugar in a pie crust. That sounds good, but it's also probably not my first choice, so I don't know whether or not I would have grabbed a slice of it. Because it's the type of thing I can almost imagine, and I'm pretty sure it wasn't, because I think there was one thing maybe we got in the American booth, and I think that might have just been beer. But when we were doing the, because the Food and Drink Festival was on when we were there last, I know I keep bringing it up, but just go with me. I'm surprised pecan pie wasn't on the list, because it is a very American thing, I think. It's more American than apple pie, because apple pie we do a lot here as well. We don't do pecan pie. You do pecan pie. I don't know. So if I haven't tried it, I'm interested in trying it, because it sounds like it'd be good. And our last day for today is Paper Bag Day. A solid option. It's technically better for the environment, but not always, you know, structurally viable. 9 times out of 10, I would take paper bags. Paper bags are an option. If I don't have, you know, my own bags, which... And do I have to tell you to go listen to Mitchin song, or can I just tell you to take your canvas bags to the supermarket, because you should buy like Bag for Lives and canvas bags and stuff, and just take your own bags, because that's much better than paper bags. But obviously, any situation in which that I would need to buy a bag. And again, we have to buy bags now, so if I'm going to buy a bag, I'm going to buy a bag that's reusable anyway. But I don't already have a bag, so I need to get a bag. As long as it wasn't raining, I'd prefer a paper bag. We don't do paper bags that much here, actually. Like, we mostly just do plastic bags, which, to be fair, we live in England and it's raining constantly. So, that's an exaggeration, that's a stereotype, but yeah, you get the point. Like, we have a stereotype of it raining constantly. Not quite as bad as Scotland, but we have the stereotype of it raining constantly. So you can kind of understand why we don't do paper bags as a wholesale. And as I've mentioned before, the things that treat paper to make it waterproof are either not recyclable or only so effective. That's why I don't like paper straws, because we decided to ban regular straws before we had a more consistent alternative, because all our versions of paper straws as it is fucking suck. Like, they some of them work for a while and then degrade. Some of them don't work at all. Like, I think I've had at least one straw straight up collapse on me. I've had a few others. I've had a few others wear away on me, but yeah, I don't think I've ever had an experience with a paper straw that I've gone, yeah, no, this paper straw worked fine. Like, not even worked well, worked fine. Like, technically it does its job, but I'm sure I'm inhaling some amount of paper and or some amount of chemicals that were on the paper. Though I assume those chemicals are non-toxic, because otherwise why would they be anywhere near foodstuffs? Yes, those were your days for today. Join the broken flock and subscribe. Share this video and the videos in the playlist if you would, please, because I don't get promotion from anywhere else, really. Especially not from Google itself. And if you haven't watched the playlist, if you haven't watched all 190 videos-ish that are here in this playlist alone, never alone the videos that were already here. God, I'm glad I deleted a lot of the older ones. I don't think I regret any of the ones I deleted. I think all the ones I kept were the ones that were good. But I basically deleted everything pre a certain date. Actually, it wasn't even a date, it was a certain event that I went, that is a point that I can go, that was a That everything after that was fine. I think I just got rid of everything before it because it wasn't good. At least I didn't think it was. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe if I remembered it, maybe I'd regret it. But I don't remember what they were, so I don't really regret them no longer existing. What was my point? What was I? Right, yes. So if you haven't caught up, get yourself caught up at least with this series. I did mention it before, but I will mention it again. Embrace the chaos. The world is a better place when we go with the flow. I think I made a pretty good argument as to why that's the case and why I'm not following my own advice. But I really want to be, but anxiety is a bitch. And a reminder that our goal, and our forever goal, because I don't think we're ever going to get to a point where I'm actually going to be happy with it, is to change the world. To make this place better, safer, more fun. Again, all the bigots, assholes, and degenerates that are discriminatory can fuck off and get off my planet. I think we could all agree, bar those people that are being racist, homophobic, and sexist, and I want to say religionist, but then I'm me. Then also, again, I claim to be a god on multiple occasions, basically all the time. So I think I have a decent leg to stand on when I say I don't care for most religion. Then again, a lot of the stuff that people do for the sake of religion is pretty awful. So I kind of have a leg to stand on that one. It's not really it's less discriminatory and more just my educated opinion on the matter. You're fine to have whatever beliefs you like. That's the opinion I have. It's just how you choose to enact your beliefs that I have a problem with. I could potentially have a problem with. Let me be absolutely clear before anyone tries to get annoyed at me. I don't mind what you believe in, but if your beliefs are causing issues for other people, that's where we're going to start having a problem. Okay? Let's make sure I get no twisted words in this outro. Nothing. No one trying to accuse me of anything because I made a statement. But you get the idea. I think making this world more accepting and less discriminatory is a very good place to start in our mission to change the world. And with all that being said, and me desperately trying not to dig myself into a ditch, I will see you tomorrow. Ta-ra.